Hello and welcome, my dear friend. Let me ask you something personal. Have you ever felt like you're chasing whispers, like God's voice is there somewhere but drowned out by everything else in life? Work, relationships, noise, expectations. You try to listen, but all you hear is static, a hum of chaos that never seems to fade. If that resonates, you're not alone. I've been there too. But here's the truth I've come to learn. God isn't hiding from us. He's speaking constantly, lovingly, clearly. But we often struggle to hear him because our lives are full of distractions, habits, and mindsets that block his voice. The good news is this: we can break free from those barriers. Today, I want to share with you 6 habits that you must quit to hear God's voice clearly. Not just hear it, but feel it resonate so deeply within you that it shifts everything: your thoughts, your decisions, your very soul. Are you ready? Let's begin. Overloading your life with noise. The first habit we need to let go of is something almost everyone struggles with: the addiction to noise. And I don't just mean the literal sounds of TVs or notifications. I mean the noise of constant distractions, endless scrolling, and the constant need to consume. Imagine trying to hear a gentle whisper in the middle of a roaring stadium. That's what it's like when God is speaking to us while we're buried in busyness. You can't hear him, not because he's quiet, but because your life is too loud. But here's the thing: God often speaks in the stillness. He doesn't shout to compete with the world's noise. He waits for us to create space to turn down the volume and to tune into his presence. This doesn't mean you have to escape to a monastery or live in total silence. It's about intentionally carving out moments of quiet, even in the midst of a busy life. Start small. Turn off the background noise when you pray. Replace an hour of scrolling with an hour of reflection and watch what happens. When the noise fades, God's voice becomes unmistakable. But here's the catch: quieting the external noise is only half the battle. There's also the inner noise, the constant chatter of our own thoughts, doubts, and anxieties. It's the inner monologue that replays conversations, rehearses worries, and analyzes every decision to exhaustion. To silence that, you need to actively redirect your thoughts to God. When your mind starts to spiral, pause and pray. Meditate on his promises. Remind yourself that his peace is greater than your chaos. Because when the noise inside and out settles, the whisper of God becomes a roar of clarity. Surrounding yourself with negative influences. The next habit is one that's harder to spot, but just as damaging: keeping toxic people in your inner circle. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't about cutting everyone off or judging others harshly. But let's be honest, some relationships drain your spirit. Think about the people in your life. Are there individuals who constantly plant seeds of doubt, who pull you away from faith, who mock your values, or discourage your growth? Relationships like these don't just weigh you down, they create static between you and God. We read in 1 Corinthians 15:33, "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." That doesn't mean we avoid people who need help or support. It means we protect our hearts by surrounding ourselves with those who lift us up, inspire us, and align with God's truth. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself and for others is to set boundaries. This doesn't mean abandoning people entirely. It means redefining the relationship in a way that allows you to grow in your faith without compromise. Ask yourself, is this connection drawing me closer to God or further from him? And it's not just about individuals. It's also about the influences you allow into your life through media, conversations, and environments. The books you read, the shows you watch, the social media accounts you follow, are they nourishing your spirit or feeding negativity? Remember, your heart is like a garden. If you surround yourself with weeds, they'll choke out the flowers. But if you nurture the soil with truth, encouragement, and faith, God's voice will flourish within you. Criticizing and judging. The third habit might sting a bit. Little, because it's something many of us struggle with: the habit of criticism, and not just criticism of others, but also of ourselves. Let's start with others. How often do we fall into the trap of pointing out flaws, gossiping, or judging someone's actions? But here's the thing: when you focus on the faults of others, you become blind to God's work in your own life. It's like trying to clean someone else's window while your own is covered in dirt. And here's another truth. Judgment creates walls, not bridges.